hallowed hall stands alone, high above the western shore. It looks down upon the tiny resort village of Tyr Island. The weather-worn walls cast gray against the background of amber thatch. A well-traveled path leads to and from the red brick stairs that wind their way up to the entrance. A cobblestone courtyard lined with benches made from stone mark time for weary travelers. The doors and windows of the hall are framed in dark mahogany, with flowers lining the walkways and adorning the windows. Thick ivy grows intermittently around the walls like an unfinished patchwork quilt. A restful place with hints of desperation rise in the wind. The smell of the ocean fills my nose, and the salted air makes my skin feel tight. The gel in my hair is no match for the swirling winds that come and go, reminding me of wheat fields being pushed one way and then another with sudden build and quicken withdrawal. It's my first time on the island, and the late August winds are still warm enough for t-shirt and shorts. I carry with me only 3 things: money, a camera, and a heart for adventure. The tender mercies of God seem to collect themselves in this place. Pigeons are resting along the red tile roof like tiny soldiers in a parade. Rabbits run in and out of the scrub thickets that grow along the hillside. A small pond of multicolored fish feed lazily under the blue sky. There are scavenger birds resting in the tall cottonwood trees that look down on the property. They chatter back and forth, keeping watch on all that moves or breathes. The people coming and going don't seem to notice. It's sad that most of us don't appreciate the ordinary. If we live by the ocean, the magic of the sea becomes mundane. If we wake up to the smell of fresh bread baking in an oven, the taste of it with honey is expected. So it is with love and life if we fail to appreciate the depth and beauty in the ordinary. As I journey up the pathway toward the hall, I am mindful of the black sentry birds that communicate every move that is made. Swooping from tree to ground and back again, you realize that everything they do carries intent. When one dives and lands, the group watches and signal for danger. Yet when they roost alongside each other, they seem to have no interest in each other and what is going on next to them. Selfish and magnanimous at the same time. If one snatches an old piece of bread from the ground, the gang will unite and try to take it from him. It is dog eat dog in bird terms, except when it comes to danger. Then and only then do they rely on each other for self-preservation. Maybe there is a pecking order that seats the more powerful and aggressive birds on the higher limbs, relegating the lower, less sheltered limbs to the younger and weaker. In any case, they are a necessary evil to the existence of each other. 2 large doors stand alone, an entry point by which humanity steps back in time while embracing the future. Inside, the walls are coated with white Venetian plaster, and though they have yellowed from age, they stand clean against the wooded archways that hold them. The cherry wood flooring is well oiled and careworn. The boards creak under the feet of passers-by and bring comfort to the many that adorn the gallery walls. The room is filled with international and local pieces. The shapes and colors flow like spring runs toward Christmas. The smell of living ruminates the canvas and the wood. Years of greatness reside here, and I imagine years of pain. C.S. Lewis once said that God often uses pain to make us perfect. The painful chisel in which he shapes and crafts the stone is what makes it stronger, fashioned to his image. Each work of art has its own story. If these walls could speak, I wonder what they would say. The light from the windows dances on the wood flooring like playful children on a warm afternoon. In the far west corner, where the light is just right, the portrait of a woman hangs alone on the wall. Her long dark hair falls lightly upon her alabaster skin. Her lips are hesitant, not knowing whether to smile or frown. Her burgundy dress barely touches the top of her delicate shoulder. Surely she's an angel of the first degree. The years have been good to her. She has taken many prisoners. People file by her, gazing momentarily and then moving past. They come and they go, but never does anyone stay. Looking intently, I study her features and wonder about the girl looking back at me. Others pass by and scarcely study her. The subtle tones of shade and color highlight the mystery behind her smile. I try to imagine what her life might have been like, not just canvas meshed with color, but how her dark hair might have smelled in the sunlight, the softness of her skin pressed against a child's face. Is that pleasure in her eyes or sadness? Does that gentle face know the sorrow of broken dreams or the loss of love's venture? If I speak, will you hear? Portrait on the wall. Does anybody care? Captured with a smile, the people stand and stare. But in your eyes I see a story never told, and in your life I know there's more than growing old in this empty portrait hall. Can I read the lines, not written anywhere, and gaze upon your soul? Is anybody there? Like sand castles melting from the rushing waves, only traces linger, but still enough to save from this empty portrait hall. Someone from behind me gently taps me on the shoulder. She's a beauty, isn't she? Who are you? My name is Ambrose. I'm the caretaker. Ambrose appeared to be in his late 50s with a paratone shape. His hair was graying and frazzled. He stood about 5 feet 7 inches. His face is chiseled and leathery from the ocean air. He has an interesting odor emitting from his clothing, a cross between sage and old pipe tobacco. Isn't she beautiful? He asked again. More than beautiful, I said. She's like a delicate chocolate. Whoever painted her must have loved her, or at least imagined she loved him. She is our most famous piece, Ambrose said. People come from all over just to see and to talk. I see her every day, but I never grow tired of dreaming of a world with her in it. A faint trace of liquor begins to waft from his breath. The more he speaks, the more it smells like a bottle of Old Harper's. I see now why his face is filled with deep furrows. His pale blue eyes have begun to yellow. After years of practice, the juice, the scamp, the sop has taken its toll on his liver. As we gaze at her face, he blurts out, I met her once. I even touched her skin. Looking over at him, he nervously says, She dropped an earring during the setup of her pose. I retrieved it. I touched her hand. It felt like a velveteen rabbit. Wait, you're saying she's still alive? When was this painted? It was painted last summer, but the dear girl went missing September of last year and hasn't been seen since. The authorities think she ran off with the artist now and lives in Spain, but I think she just got tired of the publicity the painting brought her. She probably lives on the East Coast. You won't believe this. She was a waitress before that artist fellow decided to make her his muse. Who painted her? Carmine Valencia. One of those uppity bohemian types that take innocence from everyone they meet. It was clear once he convinced her to pose, he would own her soul or kill her in the process. She let him take control while the project was ongoing, but after, she had a good deal of shine coming her way, and of course, he didn't like that, and let everyone know that she was his. Even gave her a family necklace worth $100,000, which she wore just to shut him up. That's it, there in the painting. Looking, he observed a quarter-sized fire opal necklace, crusted with rubies and diamonds, which set off the flecks of green in her eyes. Wow, that's beautiful. Days after the rumpus down at the pub, he, the necklace, and Alexandria vanished without a trace. Everyone thinks they eloped and ran off to Spain. But I know better. What do you mean? He may be in Spain. The necklace may be in Spain. But Andie, she would never go to Spain with a man like that. What does that mean? I've said enough, mister. Call me Russ. I need to be making my rounds. I really need to go. You can't just leave me hanging. Ambrose walks a few paces and then comes back and whispers,